Firstly, I want to start by saying thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time, and hopefully our time together will provide useful tools for you. We certainly are in really uncertain times right now, and there's a lot of fear around, and we don't have a lot of information, so that creates a lot of uncertainty within us. So we can't actually change the outside. So I want to give you tools today that will really help you change the inside. So this is actually called How to Fortify Your Spirit Against Worry, Panic, and Media Overload. So I know a lot of people, a lot of my clients have been obsessively checking the media right now, what's happening online. And I want to encourage you to do something different. So firstly, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Kim Vincent. I've been in the field for 28 years now, can't quite believe that. As a hypnotherapist, I'm an NLP master practitioner, an NLP master health practitioner, a life coach, an energy healer, a Reiki master, and I'm co-founder of Healing in America and founder of Changes Happen. So I have an international client base that I work with. And so, yes, that's my background. And I bring all of that to you to give you some simple tools today to help you shift. So I want to take a moment to really look at what is fear and panic and anxiety and stress. Stress really does impact our immune system. When we're in a state of stress, we actually produce more cortisol. And cortisol actually slows down your body's natural antibodies, and so it lowers and weakens our immune system. So my purpose of doing this is to really help you stay healthy right now and give you tools that are going to move you out of that flight, fight or freeze mode and move you into a space within yourself where you can naturally at will calm down and have those resources so that your immune system can stay healthy. And so let's talk about what is going on when we get in that state of fear. It is our natural instinct, actually. It's our survival instinct that starts to kick in. And we start to our brains start to work from the part of our brain which is known as the reptilian brain or the amygdala. And that is about our survival. So that's when we go into fight or flight. Now, in the olden days, when we were being chased around by saber-toothed tigers, that was actually really useful because we could focus 100% of our attention on what was in front of us. So we could choose to either fight that saber-toothed tiger or we could choose to run from it. But what I'm seeing now is that the majority of people that I'm working with come to me and are in a frozen state. We don't have that ability to run from our stress anymore and those things that are causing us so much anxiety. So, a lot of the people I've been talking to are people who are home with their families right now, and that causes stress. Or people who are on their own and feeling isolated and disconnected. As well as those people who, we're worried about our families, our loved ones, our parents, ourselves and our own health. So, our focus of attention, what happens is we have this span of attention, and when we're in that fear state, it shrinks down to about 1 to 2%. That means you become hyper-focused on that thing that's stressing you. Now, I know from talking to my clients this week that you're often not focusing just on one thing. There are a number of things. So that means you're frozen in a state where your perception, your visual perception, is focused down to 1 to 2%. Now, you replay those over and over again, and guess what? Your anxiety levels go up. So I want to show you a quick little trick. So I want you to pick something. Let's take a moment. I want you to think about, what are your triggers at the moment? Like, what are your fears? Let's just take a moment to think about those so that you have something really meaningful to work with. And you can write those down if you want to. or just have them in the front of your mind. A lot of people, you're really present to what those are right now. So as you think about, pick one of them that causes you the most intense stress right now, and focus on it. You'll notice that your focus of attention starts to shrink, and I actually want you to do that. And take your hands and put them in front of you so that you're really focused on that thing that is making you feel anxious. As you focus your attention there, keep your mind on the thing that you're panicking or anxious about, and then begin to bring your fingers out to your peripheral vision. So that's about my peripheral vision. I can still see my fingers. So find yours. Some of you will be closer, some of you will be further away, but find it. And do you notice you start to take in a deep breath? The breath is directly linked to your autonomic nervous system. So keeping your focus there, you will hopefully notice that with that breath, there's a release that happens. There's a calming down and a centering. You can still think about that thing, but you're more centered now with it. So our breath is directly linked, like I said, to your autonomic nervous system. When we get into those really stressed out states, what happens is we start to breathe in the upper part of our chest. Now, people who have panic attacks know this very clearly. People who have asthma, it's all in the upper chest. When we bring our breath lower and slower, we start to calm down. So, I want to take you through a breathing exercise now. I refer to it as square breathing. I know that, you may have heard it from different names. And I want you to, again, kind of just focus in. And you can allow your eyes to close and make yourself really comfortable. We're going to take a breath in for a count of 4. We're going to hold it for a count of 4. We're going to breathe out for a count of 4. Hold it for a count of 4. But don't you worry about any of that, because I'm actually going to talk you through it. So let's start by taking a breath in through the nose. So breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. So let's just take a moment now to just allow you to find your own rhythm. So for some of you, that breath will be too long. So you might want to shorten it down to 3. For some of you, it will be too short. You might want to extend it out to 5, 6. Go. The idea is to stretch it out as much as possible. So let's just take a moment to do that now. So allowing your eyes to close if that's more comfortable. Good. So having spent that time doing that breathing, that's an exercise you can practice whenever you need it. So if you find yourself in that place where you're holding your breath, then do the breathing. It will really help to calm and center you. So just pay attention to how you're feeling right now. Having just shifted your perception, your visual perception, and expanded it, and done your breathing. Hopefully you're starting to feel a little better. Now, the more you practice these tools, obviously the better you'll get at it and the more efficient and effective they will become for you, because the idea is that you will make them yours. I'm just your guide here, and I guide you to that inner world. Now, I know that when we get into those states of fear and panic and stress, we want to try to control the world outside of us. And that's impossible. Right now, we're living, I think, in one of the most challenging times for uncertainty. But life in general is uncertain. We want it to look a certain way. We want it to be the way we want it to be. And if we spend our lives and our time waiting for the outside world to be different, we're going to be waiting a long time. We're going to be out of control and you're going to be stressed. You may even get depressed about that. So I think that the real power for us lies inside. And I think that's true with everything. And, you know, we talk about emotions. I've heard people talk about emotions and get really uncomfortable with certain emotions. And I think that your emotions are actually your guidance system. If you can go through them, and of course, you know, for some people that have experienced deep trauma, you need to heal that, right? That needs to be healed. But I'm not saying you can't still access that wisdom that's within you. And your emotions are your guide to that. So let's check out, I want you to let's come back to that list that you made of the things that you're concerned about right now. As you come back to that, I want you to pick one that's really been causing you, that you've been really focusing on, or that's been causing you a lot of anxiety. And I want you to notice that often we think it's outside of us, but actually your experience is inside. So you'll be playing movies, you'll be making up things, you will be having feelings. Now, for most of my clients that I'm working with, the feelings of anxiety are in the solar plexus area or in the chest area. So just check in. You know, some people will say it's in my head, but usually it's not in your head. Usually it's in your torso somewhere. So just take a moment and think about one of those things on your list and just notice, where is that feeling? And also notice, what are you saying to yourself? Like, one of the questions I've heard over and over again this week is, what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if my finances don't work out? What if my business fails? What if somebody gets sick? What if, what if, what if? So what is it you're saying in there? Just pay attention to that. Just notice it. This is so unconscious that you're not usually paying attention to it. So as you notice it, now you're bringing your conscious mind attention to what your internal experience is. Now, as you start to get a sense of that, the image, the sound, what you're saying, and what you're feeling, let's bring your attention to the feeling. So like I say, most people, it's in the solar plexus. So let's just take a moment and just identify where that is within you, and take one of your hands and just place it in that area. As you place it there, bring your focus of attention there. Now, for some of you, you'll need to close your eyes to do this because it really helps you focus in. So as you focus in, notice, how big is this feeling? Is it a heavy feeling? Is it a light feeling? So is it heavy like lead, or is it light like butterflies? Does it have a temperature to it? Is it a hot feeling? Is it cold, ice cold? What kind of texture is it? So here we're taking what you call a feeling and we're breaking it down into smaller aspects so you can really get a sense of what's going on. And then with this feeling, does it have a movement to it? The majority of feelings have a movement to them. So just notice, does your feeling spin forward like a wave coming to the shore? Does it go backwards, like a wave going off the shore? Does it spin clockwise? Does it spin anti-clockwise? And as you focus in and really get clear on how you experience the internal experience of fear for yourself, it will be different from other people, and that's perfect. So, like I said, I think our emotions are messengers, and we miss opportunities when we look outside of ourselves for the answers. I think people are out there to guide us, to give us information, but ultimately, your truth is within you. It's not anywhere else. Nobody else has it for you. So, placing your hand with your hand there, I want you to just thank this feeling. Sounds bizarre, I know. Bear with me. I am going to a useful place. So focus in on it. And ask it, what is it you're trying to let me know right now? And say to it these exact words: I will not harm you. I want to understand you. And listen now. What is it trying to do for you? Perhaps it's trying to keep you healthy. Then ask it, how would you like me to stay healthy? Perhaps it's trying to protect your loved ones. And ask it, what is it that I can do to help protect my loved ones more effectively? Perhaps you can even share this video with them. So once you have that wisdom, and I would really encourage you throughout the week ahead to really focus in on this and start to listen to what are the messages your emotions are bringing you. Because when you start to access that, you access your internal wisdom. You have a direct connection with your soul, with your divine being, with your spirit. And that's where your wisdom is, not in this conscious human experience. We're limited. Connect into your deeper and larger capacity. So, lastly, I want to take you through just a short meditation. And it's a meditation that can really help you. Again, it's about focus of perception. It can really help you move out of where you get stuck in. So remember, when you're experiencing anxiety, fear, overwhelm, stress, your perception is very shrunken. It's very small. So let's do this together. Taking a breath. Again, close your eyes. You can even breathe out. I like to take a breath in and breathe out as though you've had a really hard day and you're sinking into a hot bath, just like, let it go. Brilliant. So, allowing your eyes to close. Again, focusing in on any remaining stress and anxiety that you're experiencing. And as you do that, notice it and rate it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how deeply, how strongly are you feeling it? So 10 being it's extreme and 1 being, I don't really feel it. And just rate it. Now, what we're aiming for in this exercise is that as you practice this, it will start to come down. So, you feel it, you've rated it. Now, bring your awareness to your big toe on your right foot. Just bring all of your focus of attention to your big toe on your right foot. Then bring your focus of awareness to your left hand. Now bring your focus of awareness to the wall behind you. Now bring your focus of awareness to the wall at the right of you. Now bring your focus of awareness to the wall or door to the left of you. And then bring your focus of awareness to what's in front of you. The screen, in front of you, the wall, the door, whatever's there. Now bring your awareness to the ceiling above you. Now bring your awareness to the floor beneath you. And now bring it back to the feeling within you. And rate it again. It should have gone down, hopefully. So let's work with the number it's at now. Just rate it again. And we're going to do that exercise one more time. Now, bring your focus of awareness to your right foot. Feeling the pressure of your right foot on the floor, or wherever your right foot is right now. Now bring your awareness to both hands. Now bring your awareness to what's in front of you, the screen in front of you, the wall in front of you, the door in front of you. Now bring your awareness to what's to the right of you. Now bring your awareness to the left of you. Now bring your awareness to the wall behind you. Now the ceiling above you. Now bring your awareness to the chair that you're sitting in right now. And bring your awareness back to that feeling. So hopefully that will have dropped quite a bit, and I would really encourage you to, keep doing it until you really get it down to like 1 or 2. So let's just recap. We've gone through a lot already in this short space of time. So we've talked about the experience of stress. We've talked about what happens inside your brain, and that your perception shrinks way down. And we explored your ability to kind of move out your perception, keeping your focus out here. And you notice that your autonomic nervous system begins to slow and calm. Then we've talked about your breath and breathing. And your breath, we did the square breathing with breathing in for a count of 4, holding it for a count of 4, breathing out for a count of 4, and holding it for a count of 4. I encourage you to continue to do that throughout the week. Expand it out as much as you can. And then we also looked at that exercise of internally focusing on the feeling, listening to the wisdom that it's bringing you. There's gold in there, I promise you. And then we also talked about the meditation of how to actually experience that feeling, rate it, and then start to drop it. So I'd really encourage you this week to practice, spend time practicing, really making the skills your own. That's the way you'll get the shift. So thank you for joining me. And next week, it will be the same time, 10 a.m. on Tuesday. And next week, we'll be looking at what's the fear cycle? Like, how do we get stuck in those fear cycles? And what are the underlying emotions that go with that and connecting with that? And we'll also be looking at, we've heard of PTSD, right? Post-traumatic stress disorder. We're going to be looking at FTSD, future traumatic stress disorder. So I really hope you can join me. Again, thank you so much for being here, and stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. Take care. Bye.